Tattoo artists, what pieces are you tired of doing? My artist is really good at linework flowers. 10 out of 10. That's why I went to him, it's exactly what I wanted. Turns out he's trying to step away from that and ideally do more creative things, but it's my bread and butter. I worked at a receptionist in a tattoo studio in Scotland and holy garbage, people just want pocket watches and roses, and infinity symbols. We once had someone ask for the squashed sideways 8 that all of her friends had. My artist said he was sick of longitude-latitude coordinates of their hometowns. Last time I was in for a touch-up, the guy across the hall took a call and had to refuse to do a tattoo of the local team as champions 2017, or whatever year it was. It was the night before their game, they lost. So yeah, that dude probably had another artist do it up and regrets it deeply. Nautical sleeves. I'm from an island and fluff, is it brutal trying to make it unique when every fifth person has one? Anchors, compasses, maps, etc. Feathers and pocketwatches are close seconds. I was curious about some of these, so I did some googling. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the most tired and overused tattoo ideas in history according to this thread, all combined: the infinity symbol with a feather, anchor, and shadow birds all in one tattoo. https://i.imager.com/ug4c8.jpg. So from what I can tell, I need a lion wearing a crown, holding a pocket watch with roses for his mane. Gotcha. When I was getting my admittedly rather generic tattoo done on my chest, which I didn't feel the artist was particularly into, but hey, he was polite enough, we heard the receptionist say, "Look, we'd never do that, and if you phone back we're calling the police." Some dude had phoned up and asked if they'd tattoo a naked, crying little girl on his back, then told the receptionist she was a meow when she said no. Some people try to be way too edgy with tattoos. It's an anchor to symbolize I can't be held down. Fluffing crowns, OMG do I fluffing hate crowns. With that being said, I did one tonight. Not me, but my sister. It's not a specific thing, but she hates when people want tattoos with too many ideas in it, and by that I mean, for example, a Lord of the Rings character holding a lightsaber while fighting a Dementor on a velociraptor with a banner that says "Clever Girl," or like Minnie Mouse holding a football team's logo in front of her while also being within a pink cancer ribbon but wanting the image too small. Small enough that it wouldn't even look good with how much detail it would need. Edit: the first idea wasn't supposed to be cool, I just came up with it on the spot as an example. Edit 2, I realize my first example wasn't that good of one, because, well, I drew it. https://imager.com/squesabon. Edit 3, thank you all. I am looking at this to just know what tattoos to never ask for. I've heard people say they've stopped doing your name on people's butts. Clocks. I worked as a shop manager for a little bit. My boss, the head artist, was getting super burnt out on big cats, specifically lions, wearing crowns. In about a month, he'd done 5 realistic lions and a panther wearing crowns on dudes who wanted to feel like kings. I had to start politely turning them down when people called to inquire about them. Sorry, Ian's not really interested in doing more big cats this month. Late to the party, and my first tattoo was a tramp stamp on my 21st birthday, but one of the things my 2004 tattooist told me was that he was doing at least one Godsmack Son a day, a design from whatever album they had out at the time, and as I was sitting there getting tatted, a dude walks in asking for that exact thing. I busted out laughing, but my guy was professional. He told him he would do it but that he would feel more comfortable doing something more custom. The guy didn't sway, though, and after I finished up, dude got himself a Godsmack tattoo. Edit, a word. Edit 2, I wasn't laughing at the Godsmack tattoo. I am not judging anyone with Godsmack tattoos. I was laughing at the coincidence of the situation of the artist telling me the story about doing that particular image so often, and witnessing supporting evidence of his story within an hour. It was a real co-inky-dink. Also, we all do dumb garbage when we are young, regardless of whether it's getting a trendy tattoo, falling in love with someone we shouldn't, or chasing a pipe dream. These are rites of passage. From my tattoo artist friend, pocket watches surrounded by roses. The Chinese word for water or hope, or whatever else cliché term. Tattoo artist from Alabama here. I am not religious at all, but I think I've ascribed the entire Bible on human flesh at this point. I have a couple chemistry tattoos, and my artist made a comment about girls getting dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin with the word happiness. Seemed like he might have done a few too many. Fluffing snake coming out of the eye of a skull. And why does the guy who wants this tattoo always have a perfectly groomed goatee? For Australian artists, Southern Cross tattoos. UK tattoo artist. Okay, pocket watches with roses surrounding them have started to die out bit 1 or 2 years ago. My god, they were fluffin' rife. The worst part is when the customer says they want one they follow with, "I've got an idea to make it special and unique to me," and I'd say, "You want the time your baby was born, don't you? OMG, how did you know? This year it has definitely moved on to lions, tigers etc. wearing crowns. It's always the guys that have to check with their lass if the design is okay before they start too. Like mentioned before, however, I'll take a pocket watch with a lion's face in the center, birds flying off it merging into an infinity symbol with each bird having its own individual birthstone of the family's lost cats over the years, than a smelly person. I'm glad my tattoo idea of the Voyager isn't here. I'm an apprentice right now, but practically all of the artists in my shop have agreed on a few things: infinity symbols, especially with words, anchors, birds, feathers that turn into birds. However, that being said, my mentor followed that up with, "But that's your job security. You'll always have girls coming in for the most basic tattoos, and no matter how tired you get of them, they'll pay your bills." Edit. I definitely didn't expect this to blow up like it has, thanks guys, but to everyone who's sad seeing their design tattoo mentioned, tattoos are meant for you more than other people. It's your skin, if you like it and you're happy with it, then everyone else can buzz off. LPT, if you're like me and just want good art from a variety of talented artists, find an artist that does art you think is rad, then ask them if there is any art they have done on canvas, paper, digital that they want to do on skin. If they show you something that you would like on your body, you will guaranteed get a tattoo that has that little extra that makes for a great tat. My cousin is an artist and this was his tip to me. My first tattoo artist said he refused to do anything gang-related, racist, or the Tasmanian devil. Asked my buddy, he said, "If I have to do another Modern Latin paragraph on a chick's ribs, I'm gonna shoot my brains out." Ironically, he was doing one on his GF at the time, he told me. My cousin said, "Infinity sign carpe diem lettering feathers." I apprenticed in a shop but had to move before I was able to start tattooing myself. What I noticed personally is the artists in the shop weren't necessarily tired of doing the same designs as the personality of people getting them, such as, guy who thinks he has a crazy pain tolerance but almost passes out. Girl, guy who freaks himself out to the point of shaking, puking and backs out at the last minute, and really anyone who could use attention to hygiene. The list goes on and on. This thread settles it. I'm getting a NoHo Hank tattoo. Removed. Not an artist, but my friend told me what his artist said. My friend has a full sleeve that wraps around to his chest. It's all incredibly well done. He finished his sleeve by getting a tattoo of Virgin Mary on the inside of his bicep. It's done absurdly well. The guy who my friend goes to has some beyond comprehensible talent when it comes to making faces. He has a few other faces as part of his sleeve and they're all equally as amazing. After his appointment, my buddy told me that his artist told him that the Mary face was the final face he was ever going to tattoo and he was done with them for good. According to my friend, this guy's talent for tattooing faces isn't a secret and he gets tons of people requesting him for faces, mostly deceased loved ones or famous people. The guy is apparently so sick of only tattooing faces that he's out of the game. He wanted to focus more on patterns and animals. I'm not an artist so I DK what that's like, but if you're willing to give up tattooing something so well due to sheer volume of frequency, then it must be a lot. The only reason the artist did the face for my friend is because he did the rest of his sleeve and gets along really well with my friend, so he wanted to finish with a bang for a good customer. Shadow birds and infinity symbols with children's names within them. Never again. Not an artist, but the tattoo shop I go to back home in the Caribbean has a running tally of how many times they have to tattoo palm trees on girls' ankles. Deleted. My first tattoo was "I love you forever and always" in my mom's handwriting on my foot. While my tattoo artist was doing it, another artist came in the room to ask what I was getting. When he found out it was script on my foot, he asked, "Let me guess, live, laugh, love." He awkwardly left after we explained it wasn't that and in fact my mom's handwriting, so I'd say he's sick of that. Mine told me he is refusing to do any more forests around someone's arm. No regrets. I'm not against face tattoos, I have friends and peers that wear them quite well. My issue is 18-year-olds who want to get them because they want a certain look. Pop culture has made them seem a lot more acceptable than they actually are. At the end of the day, in the majority of careers they will hinder employment. IDK, but 20 years from now there's gonna be a lotta old people with mandala tattoos and tree silhouettes. I got a fleur-de-lis tattoo in New Orleans. I'm sure that they are sick of that. Still not sorry though. Not an artist, but as I was setting up my last appointment, my artist and I were talking at the front desk and the person at the reception at the desk took a call, said, "Just a minute," and asks my artist, "Hey Kev, do you have time for a walk-in today?" He looks over and says, "Maybe. What do they want? An infinity loop? Are they on hold?" "Yes, fluff that. I'm so fluffing sick of infinity loops. Tell em I'm busy." So I think infinity loops for Kev. Edit, overwhelmed with the love, the comments and the questions. Thank you everyone.